Hey Virginia is a production of viewer-supported WVPT Public Media. WVPT relies on contributions from viewers like you. So, if you appreciate this show and want to help us keep bringing it to you each month, please consider making a donation to support WVPT.
The Factory Antique Mall, now the largest antique mall in America, with 121,000 square feet of antiques and collectibles and over 200 dealers. A true shopping destination located off exit 227 on I-81 in Verona. FactoryAntiqueMall.com.
Virginia artist Mark Klein is one of the region's most offbeat and original artists. Inspired by science fiction and monster films from the 1960s, he produces foam and fiberglass figures and fantasy characters for attractions in cities all over the world. Mark's creations feature everything from dinosaurs and leprechauns to Abraham Lincoln. Described as the Wizard of Fiberglass, Mark Klein is equal parts pop culture hero and 21st century philosopher. We recently had the pleasure to sit down with Mark at his Enchanted Castle studio in Natural Bridge to discuss his career and his unique creations.
When I got out of high school, I mean, nobody wanted to hire an entertainer. Nobody wanted to hire a sculptor. I mean, it was like, you go to work in the factory. I went to the employment office and said, do you have anything? And the lady there said, no, we have nothing. And so I was on my way out the door, and my hand was literally on the doorknob. And the lady in another room said, we have something. I said, I'll take it. I was at a place called Red Mill Manufacturing where they make these little figurines. And after working there for about a week, the boss said, Mark, can you stay after? I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm getting fired after my first week. And he showed me how to make a mold of my hand out of this resin. And after I made this mold and I poured an exact duplicate of my hand, I said, I can make all kinds of stuff out of this. He said, you sure can, Mark. Here's a 5-gallon bucket. Go home and play with it. I had to start painting signs. People understood that. So I started painting signs for people. And, well, if you can't go in through the front door, use the back door. This was my back door. And once I started painting signs for folks, I said, hey, you know, by the way, I did these little sculptures that can go with my signs, like a little leprechaun leaning on your sign. Oh, you do that too? I sure can. So what happened is the signs got smaller and the sculptures got bigger. I used to get my phone out of a place up in Winchester, and at the time it was called Insulated Building Systems. I walked in and saw these big, huge blocks, and they were 16 feet tall, and I immediately was like, that would make a good replica of Stonehenge. When I became partners with Natural Bridge on some of their attractions, I chatted with the owners and said, you know, you got a beautiful spot up on the hill, and I'm visualizing a replica of Stonehenge. And he said, Mark, he says, you know, if you can pull this off, he says, let's do it. So I talked a lot of people into making this happen. So it was sort of a group effort, and they all wanted to be a part of something that was bigger than their everyday lives. We're looking at moving Foamhenge. I've gotten calls from all over the country. I've gotten about 50 different calls from different places. And so I've been thinning out the herd, so to speak, and I've gotten about 4 or 5 places that are in Virginia that I'd like to keep it, that we're seriously looking at moving it to. Look, these things make people happy. And it's always been about that for me. It's been about the healing and creating happiness in the world. And these little characters, well, they do that for me, they do it for other people. Right now, just the fact that you're watching this program, hopefully that it's inspiring you in some way, and it's bringing some happiness to your life. But I've got so many pieces, so many thousands of pieces are out there all across the world right now that 24 hours a day, someone is smiling. And when you smile, there's a good chance that you might laugh, and if you laugh, that's been proven to heal people.
The Factory Antique Mall, now the largest antique mall in America, with 121,000 square feet of antiques and collectibles and over 200 dealers. A true shopping destination located off exit 227 on I-81 in Verona. FactoryAntiqueMall.com.
Hey Virginia is a production of viewer-supported WVPT Public Media. WVPT relies on contributions from viewers like you. So, if you appreciate this show and want to help us keep bringing it to you each month, please consider making a donation to support WVPT.